What's going on, everybody? Today we are doing a light bulb change for the low beam on the 2012 Ford Focus. This video works from 2012 all the way up to 2018. First thing you're going to do, open your door, come down here, pull your lever, that'll let you pop the hood. Once you come down here, you can lift up on your hood and you'll be able to see this little yellow latch right here on the left side. Pull it, pop it open, grab your hook, and on the left side you can hook it here. Next thing you'll do, get you back on the tripod, you'll come over here and you've got this bolt here that needs taken out. Then you've got this bolt here that needs taken out. We'll get those taken out. Alright guys, so now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and use a T30 security bit. You might be able to use a flathead screwdriver. And you're just going to put it in there, you're going to twist it and loosen this up. You get that one off. Come over here. And we'll go ahead and get this one off here. Set those off to the side. I normally put mine up here on the cowl hood, right there. And now we can take this, back it up. There we go. And pull the light out. With that out, you'll go ahead and unhook your plug up here. Should be simple. Come on. There you go, just pull it out. Sometimes it might have a clip in there. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and replace the low beam. So we'll get to that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and right here, open that up, take this. You can take this and twist it to the left, counterclockwise, and it just pulls right out. And then you just grab your bulb, and right here, the clip, you can push up on this little tab here and it just pulls right out. Alright, now that we got the new bulb, it is an H11. We'll just go ahead and take it, get it here, see if I can get this in camera here. Most people will recommend using some kind of blue gloves to hold this on. That way you just don't get oils on the glass. Take it, plug it in, make sure it's seated nice and tight, and there we go. Alright, she's in there.
She was.
Oh, there's our issue, guys. It is melted. Alright, so what we're going to do, take our plugs here, you'll check it for damages. You'll see that I've got this melted end in my prong there. So this is useless to us. So we're going to have to go to AutoZone, buy a new plug end, and we'll replace it. I'll be back once this is replaced, and I'll show you how to do that too. Alright guys, I'm back. It's a couple days later. I've ordered the new plug in. You can see they are the same style plug. This one has a gasket around the outer. You may be able to remove that and place it around here if you feel the need to, but if you look close in there, that orange piece, I believe it is its own gasket, so we should be okay there. One thing you want to note is the way that the wires come out. So look at how your plug orientation sits, your left and your left, where your clip sits, where your light plugs in. You want to notice that on your left side here, this has been repaired before, by the way. On your left side here, your black wire that leads to the yellow. On here is black that leads to yellow, and not black that will lead to the black. Figured you want to make note of that. And then on here, my red wire is going to lead to my black wire. So we'll go ahead and get those stripped. Now, I have a pair of wire strippers, wire cutters, but I can't find them anywhere. So I will go ahead and use my, box cutter. Simple enough. Where it's been cut before, I will just go ahead and cut it there. And, ooh, this is not sharp. There I go. And one more time. Now, you can use a sharp knife for this job. Just be very careful. Always cut away from yourself, never cut towards yourself. This is just a very simple way to do it without needing, you know, cutters, wires, anything like that. Another thing I like to do sometimes is, actually, they make plugs that plug into each other, so you don't have to do that. You just have to crimp the new plug onto the new setup. So, now that that's off there, we have the old one, and we have the new one. As you see, we have the bare copper, the bare wire here. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, get the wires here to where they're bare and they show, and then I'll show you what to do from there. You can do this by biting it. Some people bite it very, you know, how would a lot of people say that it is a backyard mechanic. They bite it. That's how my uncle taught me whenever he taught me how to work on this. But if you don't want to bite it, don't want to put your mouth on that, because I understand that some people find it nasty, you can kind of score the outside of your, you know, housing with your knife. If you have a sharp enough knife, if you're using a razor, you can just shave away at that outside housing there. There's that. And keep going. You might be able to grab it with a pair of needle nose and rip it off. I will get that off here real quick. Okay, a little off on the camera again. Should be alright there. As you can see, I got the copper exposed on this. I'll just go ahead and do the same thing on the black wire. Go ahead and get my copper exposed again. Be careful with your thumbs if you are doing it like this. Again, it's a very wise decision to use a 12 volt, you know, or not 12 volt, a wire stripper, just for the simplicity and, you know, less risk associated with it. So once you get that scored, again, some people like using their teeth for this. Some people can just grab it with their thumbs and fingers and try and pull it off. Haven't got it completely cut right here yet, so I'm going to do that. Okay, now with that being off and that being off, I'm going to go ahead and take my, I've got them over here. I've got a set of butt connectors I'm going to use. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to be using this set here, which is 22 to 16 gauge wire butt connectors. And it's a very simple process. So, make sure you twist your wires up. I tend to fold them over themselves when I'm using a set of butt connectors like this. There's that one. Then over here on the new one, I'll take this. I will twist it up. Not necessarily in frame there, am I? And I will fold it over top of itself. Sometimes it wants to crimp too close to the base. Just make sure you are careful not to do that. So I got that one ready. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this one ready. Twist it. And fold it over top of itself. There we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and again take note. My red wire did not go with my yellow. My red went with my black. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 12, my 18 to 20, or my 16 to 22 gauge butt connector and place it on the receiving wire, the feed wire. Just go ahead and push that in the hole. So One thing you want to note is that this, once you fold it up like that, it should be just about perfect. At least it was for me, for the 16 gauge. And now they make a tool specifically for butt connectors. I do not have that tool. I tend to use either needle nose pliers and just squeeze the half that I have it connected to, because there's a divider in here. Squeeze that half here real tight. Make sure you got a nice solid connection, and try and pull on it so it doesn't come out. Whenever it doesn't come out, you are good to go. So we'll take this, and again on the feed side, it went straight in. Take it, and you can actually see right here the divide. Take your pliers, channel locks. If you have the actual tool for this, that'd be great. Again, just go ahead and pull on it, make sure it's not coming out. We're good. Now I've got my plug. I will take my black wire, make sure it's nice and tight there at the end so that it can slide in, and I will place it in there, twist it, try and get it to go into place. It appears as though it is going in. Almost all of it. Not necessarily all of it, but most of it. You want as much of it as possible, and there we go. I straightened her out, she slid right in. Ooh, with that in there, I'm going to take my pliers here, my needle nose, and put it on this side and squeeze. Now that that's nice and tight on there, I'm going to go close to the base, squeeze again. I'm going to grab here and I'm going to pull it out. Now see, now once it's pulled out like that, it's not finished. Sometimes you can get lucky and push these back into place. I do not believe I'm going to get lucky this time, so I'm going to go ahead and go put another connector on this side. I'll be back with that in a second. Okay, I'm back here for attempt number 2. It's always good to show the mistakes you make. This is why it's good to have the proper tools, because I'm using needle nose pliers. It cramps down, and it's just squeezing the metal tube together. Now the proper tool, it has an indentation in it. Instead of it just crimping down where it dents out, it actually puts a dimple in it, and it kind of closes it together on a more firm grasp. So let's just go ahead and give her a good squeeze there. One real nice squeeze. Come down here at the very end and squeeze it closer to the base. And again. Now, hopefully, give her a good tug. And she's not coming out on us. That's good. Black to yellow. So now, time to take my red wire. And I'm going to run it here into my black wire. And again, your wires may be different colors than mine, and that's fine. She slid right in. Now that it's slid in, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the rest of them. Just take it, cramp it, nice and tight. Sometimes you want to use 2 hands when you're doing this. Again, I really do recommend using the proper tools. But I'm just showing you good ways to do it with things you'll have around the house. Not necessarily these connectors, but the proper way to do that would be to solder these. Now, these connectors have a heat shrink tubing on them. Again, go ahead and pull, make sure you're tight, and I am. I'm going to go get a lighter. I'm going to light these and heat these up. Proper way would be with a heat gun, but a lighter will work too. Just be careful not to melt it. Okay, so now that you got your wires ready, take a lighter or a heat gun. I prefer a heat gun, but I'll just show you the lighter. And don't go directly on it, just go around it. And it will start to shrink to the wire. Get that done here. You can actually watch it form. Get it shrunk to the wire. I'm putting it directly on it. You can. Just be careful not to hold it in the same spot for too long, or it can melt. Okay, I'll take it and finish up. Once you take a look at it, make sure, see if there's anything else you need to finish up on it. And just go ahead and finish her up here. Get her all tight. Oh yeah, she's coming together nice and tight. This is for weatherproofing to keep water and dust out of the connector. Just go ahead and get this one now. Alright, as you can see, they're both nice and tight, both connected to the wires, and they should be ready to be plugged back in. So I'll go ahead and grab the bulb. Okay, I've got my bulb, I've got my dielectric grease, my bulb grease. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the dielectric grease, the bulb grease, to the bulb itself. Okay, so they always recommend using gloves while you handling halogen bulbs. I do not have a pair of gloves on me, so you just have to be very careful not to touch the glass. Go ahead and place some of that around the seal, and once you placed it around the seal, got a nice even coating. It's also recommended to take and place around the plug itself, making sure not to reach the contacts. So, hit the camera. Now with that connected, I have a bit of smudge in there. Let me get that. Alright, you'll just go ahead and take your plug. Again, be very careful not to touch the glass unless you're using gloves. Take it, plug it in, and squeeze her tight. One nice firm click, she's in. Now I'll go ahead and show you how to line her up with the holes on the inside. Coming over here, you see, you can see how that sits and how this sits. I believe it only goes in one way, so stuff your wires down in here. Make sure you get your plug lined up, and then once you get her in there, you can twist it, get her in place. It should just slot in, and twist it to where that's facing up. Now you're ready to reinstall your cap, which will be your dust cap right here. Should go right on this hole. It'll just pop right on. And then you can back up here. Let me get you set on the camera. And set you right there. Alright, now with that connected, take your light, put her back in. Now, it does seat in. I wouldn't say it's difficult to seat in, but if you don't do it the right way, it'll start to sag. So, one thing you'll notice is you've got this little hook here. You'll just want to go ahead and make sure it sits in about like that. And move her to where she's not sagging on your bumper, like that. Looks good. If this is not seated properly, which I'll go ahead and show you that, it will sag on the bumper. Ooh, goodness, the camera doesn't want to sit right. If it's not seated properly, you'll notice that it'll be sagging. Something like that. And that's how it was when I had first got in the car. But again, just make sure she's seated properly. Holes are lined up top. Your bolt holes that go here, and your bolt hole that goes here. Now these do use some kind of clip, and as you can see here, my clip is not in the right spot to bolt. So pull the light assembly out, make sure you line your clip up. Mine needs replaced, however it will work for now. And while your plug is out, or while your assembly is out, go ahead and get your headlight plug and plug it back in. One nice firm seating there. Yours should have a clip on it. My clip is gone. Get her locked into place. Make sure you're not sagging. I'm not. Time to put the bulbs back in. Now, I did say earlier you can use a Torx security bit, but it's also possible to use a flathead screwdriver. which will be a lot more common for most of you guys at home. Take your flathead screwdriver, goes on top of here, and turn it to the right to tighten it up. It's pretty simple, pretty foolproof. A little hard to do with one hand. You guys will probably have two. Use one to stabilize and the other to turn. And once it's nice and firm, you can stop turning. Same way down here. Plug her on, turn it, and nice and firm, should be good to go. We'll go ahead and test it by kicking the lights on. Looking good. As you can see, we are back in business. That is the right ball. And that there took care of my dipped beam bulb fault on my high or my low beam on my 2012 Ford Focus.